There are certain questions that I'm asked time and time again in the comments section, so I thought I'd devote this video to a few of the most common ones. Do you believe in God? This is a question I find difficult to answer, mainly because the word God has gained such a bad reputation for which religion is largely to blame. In fact, for many people, religion is so closely associated with the question of God, they can't distinguish disbelief in religion from disbelief in God. Nevertheless, my short answer would be yes, I do believe in something outside our understanding. But not only do I find that something difficult to define, I'm reluctant to try, because human language is bound by what we can conceive, and so by definition, if there exists something beyond human cognition, human language would inevitably fall short. In fact, it is precisely this attempt to do so that has led to the dogmatism of religions. However, I'm also agnostic about God. In other words, my belief that there is something is qualified by the fact that I don't know that there is something. I fully accept that I could be wrong, and I acknowledge that my belief is not based on any evidence other than my feelings, which of course is not an objective basis to make definite conclusions. Nevertheless, I cannot avoid the fact that this is what I think and feel, just as I cannot avoid the fact that I feel the exclusivist, cruel and petty God described in Islam and Christianity is nothing but a man-made fiction. Are you 100% certain Islam is not true? No. Many people seem to confuse belief with certainty. I don't believe Islam is true is quite different from saying I'm 100% certain Islam is not true. I don't think anyone can be 100% certain about such matters. You may come across those who claim to be certain, but the fact that you can find such people amongst believers who hold mutually exclusive beliefs shows that our sense of certainty can be grossly misplaced. In reality, their certainty is not due to inherent evidence, but faith in themselves that their appraisal of this evidence is inerrant. However, the more we learn about the world, the more cautious it should make us. As Bertrand Russell once said, "The problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, while wiser people so full of doubts." So no, I'm not 100% certain Islam is false. I'm also not 100% certain Jesus didn't die for my sins, or that Joseph Smith didn't find golden tablets from God, or that I won't be trapped in an endless cycle of reincarnation if I don't follow Hinduism. But none of that changes what I believe. I don't believe any of these things. Not because I'm wicked or arrogant, but simply because the weight of evidence doesn't convince me. If you accept that you could be wrong, doesn't it make sense to believe in Islam just in case, rather than risk burning in hell? Of course, no one in their right mind would want to risk an eternity of torture. It is an unspeakably horrific thought, and it's no wonder it has filled the minds of countless generations with paralyzing fear. But although fear can compel a person to obey, it's not a convincing argument for genuine belief. If someone put a gun to your head and ordered you to believe that Jesus is the Son of God, you could certainly command your mouth to say, "I believe," and command your body to kneel in a church, but you couldn't command your heart and mind to genuinely believe it, no matter how terrified you were. It baffles me when believers present me with what is essentially Pascal's wager. Do they have such a low opinion of their God that they think such pretense would satisfy him? Plus, Islam is, of course, not the only religion I don't believe in. I also don't believe in Christianity, or Jehovah's Witnesses, or Mormonism, or Hinduism, or Buddhism, or Scientology. Should I alternate between the different religions during the week, just in case? Or does Pascal's wager only apply to your religion? How do you know what's right or wrong without religion? By making the best judgment I can using my mind and conscience. It's not perfect, and I often get things wrong. But as much as I would like there to be easy answers to everything, there aren't. I realize Muslims argue that without objective moral standards, anything goes and you can't know what's right or wrong. However, even if I was to accept that that was true, it doesn't mean objective moral standards actually exist. Just because you see the benefit in something doesn't mean it's true. Also, the claim that humans cannot behave morally without divinely ordained objective moral standards is not borne out by the evidence. Most humans, religious or not, display a sense of morality, and criminal activity is not the monopoly of either the religious or non-religious. Perhaps even more puzzling is that although Muslims claim to have God-given absolute standards of morality, in reality they differ a great deal about many moral issues, which is the very accusation levelled at those who don't believe in religion. I realize it may be easier and more comfortable to think that we have been given an external guide to what is right and wrong, but the reality is we have to work things out for ourselves, as messy as that may be. Finally, who is more moral? The person who doesn't rape, kill, or steal due to religious imposition, or the one who doesn't because he believes it's right, seeking no reward nor fearing hell?
Right.
Go on.
If you're atheist,
I am.
and you don't believe in an afterlife,
I don't.
if you don't believe in heaven and hell and all that,
No.
why don't you just go around raping and murdering as much as you want?
I do.
What?
I do go around raping and murdering as much as I want, which is not at all.